Hi, Mike. One of the good things about having your own TV studio is you can do stuff like this any time of the day or night. That is Wayne, Nebraska. I'm expecting about an inch of snow in Wayne overnight tonight, and then a high tomorrow, only in the low 20s. It's going to be winter there. As far as my maps, I can make maps for pretty much anywhere in the world. So let me tell you a little bit what I do. First of all the things you're going to see are run on an automated basis. I don't have to intervene to do any of this. It's all done automatically. The cartography, the fonts, the weather data, the underlying little utility programs that I use to come up with this finished product, everything that I touch is all free open source software, which is great in one regard in that I don't have to pay for it, but bad in the other sense in that I could not sell a box containing my software because I'd also have to give away the source code. But I can sell software as a service, or actually weather maps and weather data as a service delivered. Now, you and I talked about TV stations. I mentioned small TV stations. I think really a prime place would be websites of newspapers and news-oriented websites. They do such a terrible job with weather, and as you know from local television, weather is the #1 draw. All right, so what this does not do, that the WSI box, for instance, does, is this does not do any moves. The data moves, obviously, but I can't zoom into Africa or zoom into the United States. So that's the disadvantage that I have. But as far as making beautiful maps, things like this, the Southern California temperatures, I do this 4 times an hour. And once you have the cartography done, the mapping done, then putting other things on the map becomes really very simple. This is a fog map, and I have to tell you, I have never seen this done effectively before, and I think I really have this now. This really does depict in a way that you can tell where there is fog. It's really tough to do because the scale is inverted. The brightest colors are for the lowest numbers, and it's not a linear scale. You'll notice that's a half a mile, but that's 1.5 miles. So it's compressed down at the bottom of the scale the way we perceive it when you see fog. Anyway, being the guy who uses the software and writes the software lets me do stuff like that, find things like that. And obviously, I can do maps for anywhere in the country. That really makes no difference, or pretty much anywhere in the world. Now, when we had the high winds up in Northern California and the fires a couple of weeks ago, this is one of my wind maps. Now, this is not a forecast map. This is an actual map that is done 4 times an hour, just like the temperature and the dew point. And this one was for San Francisco. Again, I've never seen a map like this, and I think that it really tells the story in a way I've never seen it told before. Of course, I have the normal things, all the satellite maps. This is one from tropical weather a couple of months ago. I think this is from September, but this is tonight over Nebraska. So it can be done on a regional basis or on a continental United States basis. And along with satellite, there's also radar. I take the radar and I chop it into 4 parts. So it is rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. This happens to be snow, but you can see a little bit of rain down here in Kansas. So all of this can be done as often as every 2 minutes. I use a service called MRMS from NOAA, and it's fabulous. And I don't think anyone else is using it. And it's just great. But people put in their own system maybe 5 or 10 years ago. This is much better, but they've already sort of solved the problem, and I guess they're not going to change. Anyway, this is a forecast from the HRRR model. I do 3 separate models, HRRR, NAM, and GFS. They run different lengths and have different resolutions. This is a short-term model, 36 hours, but the resolution is very high. This is from the GFS model. This is actually a contour of wind speed and wind direction at the 250 millibar or jet stream level. So I do a lot of maps. Like I said, somewhere between 40 and 60,000 maps a day. And then I can also look at some specialized things. For instance, this is from the GFS model. This is a wind map, and this is after I read a captain of a cruise ship talking about why he was going to be avoiding the Mexican coast. Watch how that wind in the Gulf of Mexico gets shunted through mountain passes in Mexico and comes out with a very strong wind in the Pacific. I never knew this, but cruise ships and other ships avoid that area because of those very strong winds. Now, as far as text material is concerned, all of that comes out in the Weather Service's API. So if they put it out in text, I can get it and translate it. This is probably too much to put on a TV screen, but this could be used for someone's text product. Same forecast in a shortened form looks like this. I guess that's better for someone who's going to be doing it in a visual way. And since the background is over a transparent foreground, I can just change it to be whatever I want. And of course, the graphics can be moved around without too much in the way of trouble. So this is what I have. It's running now 24/7. It's pretty bulletproof. I would want to make some changes to make it a commercial product. But I think what I've got is really good, Mike. These are really, really excellent maps, and that's no bullshit. I'm very, very proud of what I've been able to produce here. So let me know. Talk to you later.